Pelosi went halfway. A lot of people thought that she might give up her seat as well. She gave up the leadership. Does Hakeem Jeffries have a lock? And what happens to Steny Hoyer and Jim Clyburn?
Well, if I was placing a bet, I'd place it on Hakeem Jeffries, the congressman from New York. But Adam Schiff out of California, well known, well remembered from the impeachment hearing.
Well remembered, that's for sure.
That's okay, there you go. He's also been lobbying and seeing exactly how much support he has within the caucus. But right now, it looks like you have a situation where Hakeem Jeffries and a leadership team, Congresswoman from Massachusetts, another from California, look to be in place as we exit this Pelosi era. And boy, yeah. She is a figure of American history. Like her or hate her, she's, I think the second longest serving speaker in American history, John. And if you think about the record of accomplishment, it's pretty substantial. As I said, love her or hate her.
Yeah, David, no question, it really is a changing of the guard here.
She was very effective for pushing the progressive agenda. It is also why she lost the majority for Democrats not once but twice. It was also interesting to hear the speaker talk about the number of women she brought to the Congress. Of course, she only talked about Democratic women and how the House had advanced so far amongst Democratic women, and yet Republicans are going to have the most diverse caucus we've ever had, and certainly a record number of women. And so the partisanship that she also brought is why she lost the House for them ultimately. And the post-Pelosi House should be about practical, not partisanship.
All right, well, we'll see heading into January which way that goes. Now, we know which way that some Republicans are going, because earlier today there was another press conference in which Republicans announced that there were probably going to be a number of investigations, having just not even 24 hours earlier gained the majority in the House. Those investigations will include Joe and Hunter Biden, the Afghanistan withdrawal, origins of COVID, and politicization of the DOJ and the FBI. Congressman James Comer of Kentucky on the Biden investigation saying this. Listen here.
This is an investigation of Joe Biden, the President of the United States, and why he lied to the American people about his knowledge and participation in his family's international business schemes. To be clear, Joe Biden is the big guy. The SARS show that Hunter Biden was conducting business with suspected human traffickers.
SARS being suspicious activity reports. So here we go. Not even in control of Congress, and the investigations have already begun.
It's like he didn't learn the lesson. I think Americans are really tired of this kind of pettiness and extremism. I think that's why Republicans didn't perform well in the midterms. But it's not only that, on substantial issues like funding for Ukraine, there's a real question. Will a Republican majority back that? But a lot of this stuff, especially going after Biden in this way, just seems to me like, wow, why would you use whatever energy Republicans have gained from taking the majority on such a disruptive, divisive issue?
Well, let's have David explain that.
It seems like Juan never turns on Fox News when the January 6th panel continued after partisan investigation and partisan investigation. And that's just one example.
But you could go back before that. You mentioned Adam Schiff. I mean, how many people did he haul in via subpoena to investigate Russia, which went nowhere?
John, more importantly, Republicans need to govern as we were elected. And we were governed to move this country forward. And certainly it is the House's responsibility to investigate. We should investigate thoroughly, we should speak thoughtfully, and we should be practical in learning things about how government has been running under the Biden administration that we can course correct and change. We don't need an investigation to know that the Homeland Security Secretary is incompetent. He's proven that time after time. We need to figure out how we course correct and get the border secure. We don't have to have an investigation to know that there was a complete debacle at getting us out of Afghanistan. We have to know what we learned from that so that we can make it better. And that's where House Republicans' investigation should focus.
15 seconds.
Well,
does he make some salient points there?
Yeah, I think David makes an excellent point. But I'm going to be sure I understand you, David. I think there should be an agenda about moving America forward. It's going to be a very slim majority, a need for bipartisan cooperation to get something done for the people.
What Juan is saying is let's move away from the partisan investigations that was the epitome of the Pelosi speakership.
All right, we will find out soon where it's all going. Congressman McCarthy doesn't have the speakership yet, but is already saying, hey, let's not go down those roads to impeachment too quickly.
Not too quickly.
Not too quickly. All right, thanks, guys.